Hey, it's Sunday. Time for the update. Just checking back in with you guys. This week has been a good one. I only went to Columbus once with business, um, and there's a lot of high level things that I'm sort of trying to work through in terms of the structure of things. Recently, we just signed on 2 longer term retainer clients, and it's sort of shifting my mindset around the business model as a whole. In the past, I've had a bit of a negative annotation in my mind when it comes to retainers and ongoing scopes of work. But you get a few of those under your belt and you kind of realize that that combined with the ability to delegate is awfully appealing. And the reason I say that is because, and I've talked to my fellow founder friend Chris about how to sustain high workloads and just the emotions that you start to bring to work as a whole when you maybe start to push it too far to an unsustainable level is I feel like we're all very time bound and being able to over index on your personal time spent in the business. And what I mean when I say that is that when you first start anything, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of hormosy laden late nights where you can just say, okay, this is what I need to do to get the outcomes that I want. And I've had a lot of conversations with founders recently who don't do that from the beginning, who don't over index in the beginning of building on creating something to where how can I eventually pivot out from, and whether it's through the combination of any of the aforementioned things, retainers, delegation, just being more apt in terms of overcoming your lack of knowledge and how to build something. Um, but I think we all have to have and I think it's different for each person, but we're all on a timer to make it work because I think your personal investment in your own business in terms of time, in terms of imbalance of the lifestyle that it takes to get started, I don't think that can last forever, but I think there are different amounts of time that different people can withstand it. So anyway, as I'm saying that, I'm sort of retooling the business model, and I had a very big come to Jesus moment recently when I recorded the monthly retro for the month of June, or July, pardon me. And in case you guys don't know, I've been posting monthly retros for over a year now. Just a transparent look at the finances of the business, profit loss, leads, social media strategy, everything I'm doing, sort of behind the scenes. A real pants off look at what is going on, for lack of better terms. And in the process of doing that, I sort of documented it that, okay, start of 2025, I want to make the process of me documenting my journey to 6 figures of revenue. Um, and I'll link below an episode of Crystal Faith podcast where we talked about sort of my magical packaging around my personal enamorment with making 6 figures in the business, and it comes from a childhood story. And so that was kind of my North Star when I first got started. And I realized throughout the process of posting these videos and just sharing behind the scenes, going over the P&L this month, I had hit 6 figures. Um, and in the beginning, I never really, I knew I was going to get there. Like once you set the sights, once I set my mind to something, once I quantify it as a goal, it's going to happen. Um, but what I realized is kind of in the process of that, it really didn't even become the main motivator. Um, Jay Klaus said this thing that I thought about recently, where he didn't say it recently, he said it on a much older clip, but when you're talking about goals, your level of resources acquired to reach it will match whatever you need to make it happen. So basically, if you're struggling with motivation, you're struggling with whatever it takes to generate the outcome that you want, it's because you haven't sufficiently called on the desire within yourself to generate the resources to make it happen. Because when your purpose is right and it's meaningful enough to you, you're going to find the resources. You're going to tap into yourself to make it happen. But it's about setting that goal on the important thing that can help you, that gets you to a place where you can generate those resources. So anyway, I had a bit of a no shit moment when I realized, like, hey, it's only 7 months into the year and I had already accomplished the goal that I had objectively set for myself. So what does that look like now? Now my focus is a lot more holistically driven. I've sort of accepted that this is what I'm going to be doing forever, and not in a bad way. I knew from the beginning that this is a long-term play, the business, and I can't ever see myself going back to work at an agency for someone else, etc. Obviously, you never say never. One thing I've said in the past too is that if the outcome of all of this hard work, building relationships, meeting new people, going to networking events, serving clients, delivering great websites, great results, and sharing wins, if the result of all that is I end up with an opportunity to be a co-founder or, even a high level role at a company in Columbus or whatever have you, it would have been worth it. And I'm not attached to the role of founder or just being the sole star of the show behind MMG. Obviously, I want to stay lean and continue to delegate and improve myself as a founder and a person. But there's no set incentive pass fail metric. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know. Time will tell on that front. But what I want to get across with this message is to really evaluate your goals, evaluate what the meaning of that is for you, and make sure it's coming from a holistic place. Because, like I said, a lot of times in the pursuit of trying to reach them, as I did recently, you will see, okay, my resources are no longer equipped to handle this, and you'll probably forget what the goal was in the process of trying to reach it. And that's what happened to me. And I wanted to share that with you. I hope you guys are set up to have a great week. Get in that agenda, get in that planner, set the intention for what's coming Monday morning, and let's start strong. Thank you again for tuning in to the updates, and I'll see you guys next Monday.